So we have just listened to three presentations. The two first one focus on pre-service teachers quite a lot. It's very wise that we prepare teachers because they are the center of any innovation. And the third one focused more on materials, on what happened in school, which is also very important. And in order to kind of propose the last puzzle for the symposiums of Dr. Bint, our presentation focused more on policy and kind of transition from theory to practice. And you know that in order to make such transition, then we really need to train the teachers, the in-service teachers in this case, and also support them with a certain materials and tool. So, and in which transition we focus more on Code 7 as a digital tool for STEM education. Because we start from policy, so this is the scenarios of our presentation. The key author is Dr. Tưởng Duy Hải, and also myself. We and Bien and Quinn, and that the presenters work in the same department of physics education. Thiết is also master student of our institute, and another master student from Laos, India. So we will talk a little bit about the innovation in Vietnam and where we can find STEM education as a goal, as an approach in the new curriculum, and focus more a little bit about a certain way to support teachers. And we focus on a certain type of support, which is ICT enriched, ICT book, that we book, not only book, but also equipment going with book, and the activities, real activities for school and teachers and students as well. So it is really going from policy to practice as a schemas, as you see here. And Code 7 as a digital technology. So now, if like many countries in the world, we are also in Vietnam innovating our education. And the very first steps, very first step is to make the shift from to know and to do and to be. In order to do so, we make the new learning outcomes for K-12 students. When they graduate from grade 12, they need to have a certain values and also a certain core competence, as you can see on the right. On the right side of the student competence, and on the left side is some values. So in order to achieve, it's quite a global chance of education in the world now. In order to do so, when we analyze curriculums, we will see some innovative ingredients. It's like that in the curriculum, we promote the learning of science, technologies, engineering, and math with inquiry objectives. You know that everything needs to start with a good objective. And in this case, is inquiry objective. And also, in terms of methodology, we stimulate the teachings of certain knowledge in consideration with application of such knowledge in real life and in industries. Yeah, and also we also guide the teachers how to stimulate inquiry-based activities or activity-based learning. And if we look at from the perspective of tool or learning environment, so in the new curriculum, we enhance the use of ICT and laboratory equipment. So you see the complete pictures going from objective to methodology to equipment and assessment. And to clarify it and to make it easy for teachers to apply, we also adopt the framework of STEM cycles. It's from the US. And you see that cycle integrate all the disciplines of STEM. Math as a center is a way of thinking, and it starts from the real world to school. It is scientific inquiry, and also from school going back to the real world by engineering design. So there are two loops in a STEM cycle, or it is scientific inquiry, or it is engineering design. It depends on a certain kind of lesson. And if we have a very complex STEM project, then we have both procedures. So that is what we call STEM cycles. And all kind of activities will designed based on such cycles. And another view from policy, we have also many government documents that promote STEM education. It is underpinned by the policy of digital transformation or the fourth industrial revolution. And for school and student, it is STEM. That is how we look at Industry 4.0 in Vietnam. And that policy started very early since 2017. And in shorthand, what we say about STEM in Vietnam, so it is kind of a statement. You can see that the ultimate goal of STEM education in Vietnam is to prepare the new human research with technological, scientific literacies, and with problem solving and critical thinking skills. It's very broad goal, and many subjects, including math, science, technology, and ICT, can contribute to. And also another look like what is a component, so what is a solution to do that, then we think of three things. So it can be subject integrated teaching. So that happens every day in school, in every class. We try to teach a certain subject with STEM ingredient. Or focus, it is STEM-based, competent-based physics education. It is not that the integration of math in physics or chem in physics, but we focus more on organizing a certain activity to, for student English, student develop their scientific inquiry skill, let's say. That also have kind of STEM in it. And also we integrate kind of leads to a better career. Yeah. So, and we more focus on kind of career of the modern world for industrialization. So that is some approach, and we elaborate it. And I mean we mean here in Vietnam. So we have a certain steps, certain extent in which we integrate STEM in K-12 level, from primary, yeah, to a certain extent, to in secondary school a little bit larger extent, and for high school education we make it more. Yeah, so that is really the strategic way Vietnam is moving in terms of STEM education. And from our position at Hanoi National University of Education, and also our team, that we are working on Coach 7. So in the ZREP communities, or let's say in PTL and ICPE, many people already know about Coach 7. It has been initiated by Tony Lemire. And when I graduated from the Netherlands in 2016, and even before that, Bien already introduced Coach to us. And when I did my PhD with Coach, also in terms of preparing teachers to use ICT. Yeah, so and then when I graduated and together with Dr. Tường Duy Hải, we promote even more. So Coach now is a version of 7, it's Coach 7, and now it's really the integrated platform for STEM education, in which students can do almost all kinds of not only scientific activities, but also engineering activities, like doing gathering data with sensors, analyze videos, do a modeling, animation, and control things. And also teachers also can develop kind of say digital worksheet within course 7, and student can work on a certain activity, take a note, save the data, and report to the teacher. So for that reason, we call Coach 7 as integrative platform for STEM education. And I have just seen quickly that Peter Demkanin also has that slide, and he knows also quite a lot about Coach. So hopefully we can discuss with Peter a little bit later. So as we have this demonstration in STEM cycles, we have 2 loops. So the first one is scientific inquiry. It's kind of lab we often mention. So in this case, we use sensors to collect the data, display the data in the screen, process it, and also analyze. So with sensors and Coach, so the experimental activities become more powerful. Students can do many more things, doing more experiment in more open way, etc. And also students can do kind of an engineering designing a certain system which is smart. It is a new the new concept of smart. We have nowadays many smart, like smart city, smart house, smart home, a smart school even, and now we have so students can also develop such kind of smart system with processors, actuators, sensors, and using the control possibility within Coach. And as Quinn already mentioned, that Coach fit very well with constructivist models. So in this case, it can be 5 or 6 years. And we base on such model to design a certain activity for students, even from very young age. In this case, we suppose it's grade 6, 7. Yeah. Then student test a certain house. That's the other claim that is isolated, sound isolated. So they can use 2 sound sensors, which is inside the house and the other outside the house. And student can measure the noise, the sound intensities with those 2 sensors, and compare the how well the wall of the house isolate the noise from outside. And then student also can change different materials for the wall to check which kinds of materials can isolate, yeah, or can absorb the sound better. Yeah, this is also kind of inquiry. And we not only design the activity, but we also try it out with students. And for engineering design, as mentioned in this case, it's kind of a smart house. So we there's a distance sensors. Yeah, on the left, you can see a small left corner, left down, a distance sensors, and presuming there's a bad guy coming to the house without a notice, and when his distance to the sensor is smaller than a certain values, then the system start to recognize, and the circuit switch on, and the light, the bulb is lighted. Yeah, and then we know that someone is approaching the house without a notice. That is that kind of automatic system. And those all those things students design by themselves. Yes, is that also kind of an engineering design. And again, so we try out all kind of activity with students to ensure that the guides we prepare for the teachers are feasible. Yeah. And generally speaking, you know that from policy to practice, teacher really needs the help. So in this case, we develop what is called STEM education book, and that book is a guide with STEM kits. Yeah, because without the equipment tools, we cannot do any activities, especially the experiment one. And because Coach is new for every teacher, and then we also prepare the tutorial videos, and we even suggest also kind of design of a STEM lab room, how it look like. And also we provide the teachers with sensors, data loggers, software, of course, and the most important, the training. Yeah, and in more detail, as you can see in the screen, there's quite many sample activities we already done. And again, it's not only the design, but also it would actually design and introduce to the teachers for primary education, for secondary education. Maybe it's more or less the same topic, but it's required student at the higher skills in computers, and for high school. And here's just some image of it is the STEM booklet from grade 1. From in these pictures from grade 3, but we actually finished grade 1 and 2. So this is the STEM activity quiz, and this tutorial activity on YouTube, and this is what we call STEM space, where students can do the STEM activities with quite flexible space, and with equipment around, and some chemical things, and waters, electricity, and also we have space. You can see the lamp is for students to digitalize their product, making videos and broadcasting it, maybe present it to some other via Zoom, etc. So we call that STEM space, and we also invite students to come to try out and to improve the architectures of such space. And we also suggest teachers how to make kind of STEM fair, yeah, bringing that such space to more open space in school. So like in this case, the STEM fair with smart house, solar system, soundproof rooms, as I mentioned, and also some other activities which close to biology in this case, and greenhouse, and etc. There's some more. And in order to make it really happen in the classroom, in school, of course, a teacher plays the key role. So we, from our project, we go to quite many different provinces in Vietnam. We often provide a training in 2 steps. So the step 1 with hundreds of teachers. Yeah, as you can see in the big picture hole, where we introduce the concept of STEMs, the step to do it, and sample activities. And in the step 2, so we divided the teachers into smaller group. We asked them to really practice doing some hands-on activities and discuss the pro and con of each, and also discuss further if they have the book and the booklet in hand, how they can organize the similar activities for students. So that is, and we got the feedback from the teachers, and they are quite happy with the book, as how to say, the package of support materials we already prepared for the teachers. Yeah, so because I see that there's some image, some more activities. Because I see there's still some time when at the beginning of my presentation, so I make it a little bit longer. Thank you, Professor Bient. I have that.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ching. Yeah, so we have on 4 presentation our symposium. I'm waiting for some comment, some question. No question, no comment. Saki, are you there? Do you have any comment, question? Hello. Yeah, please.
I see Peter Kanin. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I just I can just add to this very nice and comprehensive presentation. I think a very clear presentation. But sometimes we can add two separate issues. One issue is that some people, especially in countries around me, try to prefer another type of sensors, much cheaper sensors, the so-called Arduino system. And we can add that the coach is very open, and we can make any sensor which transfer any physical value or from chemistry, biology value to voltage. So we can use also Arduino sensor, but this is coach is optimized for formal education, for compulsory education. So we found Arduino sensors, Arduino system as very time consuming. It is for students who are very who devote a lot of time to working. But coach, my students from the age of 12 can use basic measurement after 20 minutes. 20 minutes instruction and they can start working. Of course, teachers, this is different. Teachers, this is sometimes 2 years. They take every educational psychology which is behind this. And another side is smartphones. Because also smartphones has built-in some sensors, and the students can use it when they want. But coach with the external sensors, as colleague presented, it's completely another value. So thank.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for comment and for this question. Please change. Can you?
Actually, Peter, our department of physics education at Hanoi National University of Education, we also have colleagues who are very interested in Arduinos. Yeah. We supervise quite a lot of master thesis and even PhD one using Arduinos because it's cheap, because it's open. Yeah. And we also try to figure out how to integrate Arduino measurement with Coach Lab, yeah, Coach Lab number 2. And if you know how, so please say to us, because we ask Don sometimes, but even the inventors does not know, but maybe the user know. Yeah, so please say. And we also have the Dr. Trần Ngọc Chất. He graduated from Germany, and you know in Germany they like really much the use of smartphone and tablet in education for doing experiments. And we also like how to integrate say smartphone with coach. That's still the question mark first. Yeah, so it seems that nowadays we have many different technology. Yeah, but it will be very nice if what we have is like we cook and we have no time to go to the market. Then we have a little bit of meat, a little bit of vegetable, a little bit of some other ingredient. How can we still cook a good food? Yeah, so it's nice if we can integrate all the kind of two together, because it's still the digital signals, voltage, etc. Yes, that is our future's work. Peter, some comment.
Yes, thanks for the explanation. I think the situation is very similar in our countries, and what we cook together is also the educational psychology, to look at the mind of the pupils, of the students, and this is very important. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.